I am Carvajal from BSHM 1B and this is my reporting. Employee involvement. Employees are the strength of an organization. They are the prime contributors to its success. Employees are the expendable resources in the organization. Any improvement will happen only because of the employees. Employee involvement is essential for TQM. So, in this chapter, we will discuss the following TQM principles and strategies pertaining to employee involvement. Motivation of the employees, the teamwork, training, mentoring, recognition and rewards, feedback and performance appraisal, and empowerment. Employee motivation, group behavior. Motivated team leads to the success of organization. However, the concept of employee motivation is difficult to understand because of human nature is quite complex. For instance, in every organization, there are three categories of people as given in figure 6.1. Here's the figure 6.1. The top-notch self-actualized is 10%. Fence-sitters actually is 80%. And difficult to improve 10%. These are the behavior of employees. It is believed that 5 to 10% of employees are self-motivated and whatever be the circumstances, they continue to do their best and never get demoted. The bottom 5 to 10% are difficult people who do not want to get motivated. 80 to 90% of the people are fence-sitters. Their motivation level depends on the management strategies. They join to top 10% when the management is effective. However, if the management is not effective, they will not join the 10%. Different theories of individual employees. Theory X, Theory Y, Theory Z, Hexberg's theory, Huygens theory, and motivation. Theory X. Sigmund Freud is the author of the Theory X. Theory X is characterized employees as avoid work, no ambition, no initiative, do not take responsibility, need security. To make them work, the management has to do something. They need to give reward, coerce, intimidate them, punish, and this theory assumes that the employees cannot be trusted and the employees have to be supervised all the time. Douglas MacGregor is the author of Theory Y. MacGregor's theory of people are giving, want to learn, work is natural activity, have this self-discipline, develop themselves, and these employees do not get motivated as much as by any reward, but they seek freedom to do difficult and challenging jobs all by themselves. If manager can guide the employees in identifying challenging the characteristic of the top 10 percentage as per figure 6.1 belong to type Y. If all employees are of this type, then there's no need for supervision. Theory Z. Abraham Maslow believed that good qualities are inherent in good people, at least at birth, although later on they are gradually lost. He believes that 5 basic human needs as illustrated in figure 6.2 motivate the employees. Here is the figure 6.2. The self-actualization needs, esteem needs, love needs, safety needs, and sociological needs. These are human motivation needs. Human motivation needs. Here are the human motivational needs. Self-actualizing needs. The greatest motivators for human beings. Abraham Maslow believes that the human beings are that dissatisfied and they like to achieve more and more. That is the reason for achievement. Sociological needs, the lowest. The basic need for any human being. There are 3 sociological needs a human being need. One is the esteem need, the second is the love need, and lastly, the safety need. When all the three satisfied, then the human being looks for self-esteem and self-respect. Hesberg's theory. Frederick Hesberg has divided the motivational aspect of human beings into the following: hygiene theory and motivation. Hesberg's theory. The hygiene theory is the minimum requirement of every employee that should not be dissatisfied. Without the hygiene theory and motivation, the employee will get dissatisfied. These are the basic needs. Further efforts are needed to motivate the employees. Hygiene factor, the company. Hygiene factors, the company, its policies and its administration, the kind of supervision which people receives while on the job, working conditions, interpersonal relation, salary, status. These are the hygiene factors. And then the motivation factors, achievement, recognition for achievement, interest in the task, responsibility for enlarged task, growth, and advance to a higher level task. These are motivational techniques. It is must be realized that all the employees do not fall into one category all the time. It is possible to motivate every employee to work for the organizational goal. The time taken to motivate each person depends on his current level of motivation. It is important to know that each person develops a certain attitude depending on his or her background. It is a challenging task for the leaders to bring in harmony in the organization, where every employee works in the same manner for the benefit of the organization. The management has to enable the employees work as much as they can. This can be the first step toward bringing order in the organization. Each human resource has to be looked at, coached, motivated, and enabled to be a performer. The team helps the employee to rise to the level to the other members under the careful eye of the management. Poor performers can be motivated to perform better if the right environment is created. If the organization clearly defined, the poor performers may also turn out to be good. The greatest motivational technique for employees is the proper management of the organization. It is only the organization which makes an employee good or bad. It Every employee has a potential to be a leader, and it is the responsibility of the organization to nurture it.
Good day everyone, I am Janeth Acorda and I will discuss about the teamwork and effective communication. I will discuss first teamwork. So why teams? Every organization may initially start with one person or only few. As the organization grows, a formal structure is evolved to enable better management and communication by hiring more people to do more work and for specific jobs. In the organization, teams are formed to fulfill the objectives. Managers, supervisors, team leader, head, team coordinator, etc. are responsible for the output of his team, while team members have to work together to fulfill the basic expectations of the employers. Teamwork is not a natural human function. At times, one may find the team members are incompatible and it is difficult for them to work together. Therefore, every effort should be made to put together compatible persons as a team. Management's role in enabling teamwork. It is the management's responsibility to foster teamwork among employees by encouraging and persuading employees to practice teamwork rather than forcing it to them. It requires a clear definition of the following: responsibility, authority, wherewithal for accomplishing the task, and criteria of measurement of the work output. The top management should try to develop every individual to contribute to the organization, and at the same time, more talented individuals should be encouraged for achieving innovations and inventions. All the employees will not be alike. They have different potentials, different characteristics, different level of intelligence, but by working as a team, If the strengths of all the employees are pulled together, it will benefit the organization. That is why top management should exploit the strength of the employees rather than work on their weaknesses. Teamwork results to a win-to-win situation. The following is the benefit if they work for the win-to-win situation. First is achieve dramatic results which individuals can't, and only by teamwork can be. Make best use of skills of each member of the team. Make right decisions and get more enjoyment and job satisfaction. The following is the problem to when to lose situation. It wastes time, creates conflict, stops people from listening, and spoils happiness and health for team members. It can cause stress, and the stress is not good to everyone. To the employees, it is not good. It is not healthy for them. For everyone. The employees should realize that only by working together, they can achieve more than what each person can do. So let's work together. Can the Japanese success be repeated? There is a lot discussions in management circles as to why only the Japanese can practice teamwork and not the other management of the world. Experts believe that teamwork is possible in Japan, as there is no diversity among employees. This may be one of the reasons for the success of Japanese teams. The world is diverse, and maybe even if we are diverse, we could still be as successful as Japanese teams if we just work together. If we just pull together our strengths and not work on our weaknesses, we could be successful as Japanese teams. Maybe. Nothing's impossible. The top management should always encourage teamwork and discourage individualism. Two heads or more heads are better than one, because two heads or more than two heads equals to many ideas. And if many ideas will be put together, it could create or bring out the best or the brilliant idea of all. The reward disrupt teamwork. Some believes that reward and awards break teamwork. However, it is not quite true. On the contrary, rewards encourage people to practice teamwork. It is noted to give awards by team and not by individual whenever possible. It is true that in a team, contributions of all members are not equal, but every one of them contributed to it, more or less. The whole team should be appreciated and rewarded. In giving awards and recognition, top management has to foster teamwork. In other words, the output of the team should be given more importance than the output of the individual. The output of the team is the whole. Next is effective communication. Communication is a three-way process. So one employee is working for the supervisors or managers. Second, to the persons working for him, the subordinates or junior employees. And third is the person one works with, the first, counterparts, customers and suppliers, both internal and external. Employees should communicate effectively in all the three roles. Necessity for communicating upwards. Upward communication means communicating with the seniors, following orders, listening, and reporting. If you are given a project with a senior, you need to listen his orders, so you would understand what will you do and what will be your next step on doing the project. Report time by time about the improvement of the project. And especially if you encounter a problem and you hardly had a time in solving it, you should inform your senior as early as possible so he can find way in going out of it and solving your problem, so you can continue doing your project and report again if it is already done. Communication with juniors. Every employee should communicate with juniors. Juniors doesn't have the same education level as seniors. That is why seniors should patiently communicate with them in detail. This communication should emphasize teamwork, quality in all activities, total quality management, the latest development in the field of work. The seniors should coach employees to improve the skills day by day. Communication with peers. Communicating with peers is equally important. This is essential since the organization have to establish customer-consumer relationships to practice total quality management. The employee should work for a win-to-win situation with peers, customers, and suppliers. All of them. Management should devise ways for effective communication. Communication is a never-ending process. The management should have a catalyst for effective communications across the organization. Monthly board meetings and quality council meetings are the forums of communications. They should be used to share views about quality and related informations. Department and interdepartmental meetings, problem-solving sessions also contribute to effective communication. Even a bulletin board in the company helps to contribute for effective communication.
Good day, I am Meshyl Buca of BSHM 1B, and today I will be reporting about training and mentoring and recognition and award. We will proceed to the training and mentoring. Necessity for orientation training is part of the training and mentoring. Employees need to be given orientation training to carry out his task correctly on the first appointment before they are developed for actual work. Since employees in their formal education learn many techniques covering wide-range topics from basic principles to advanced topics. Next is the experienced recruits need more orientation. If the ideas are better than the organization's objective and work culture, then he can become a role model in the new organization. If a fresh employee can be easily molded as per organization's goals and objectives, then an experienced person will definitely bring with different ideas. Next is the training is not a one-time activity. The employees have to acquire the skills needed for designing, manufacturing, delivering, and servicing the updated or new products or services. Therefore, employees need to be given help to cope up with change. They are now convinced that training employees is an essential part of the business. Next is training is a formal activity. Training should be formal activity in every organization. Senior levels executives in whatever designation they are just should coordinate it. At the beginning of every year, the HRD manager should evaluate the training needs of the employees across the organization in consultation with their supervisors and make an annual training plans for the organization. Next is the mentoring. The employees have to continuously coach on the job to understand the organization's objections, policies, and objectives and goals. Therefore, the employees are freed from normal work and are departed for undergoing trainings. Let's proceed to the PDCA for training. Training contributes to the prosperity of an organization. It also costs money. Therefore, PDCA should be used for training of the employees in every organization. First is the plan for training. Every employee needs training. Their training should be planned and documented. Next is to provide training. Employees should be reported for training as planned. Measure training effectiveness. After the employee undergoes training, the effectiveness of training should be assessed formally. Next is the improved training effectiveness. Both preventive and corrective actions should be taken in improving an effectiveness to the training program. Let's proceed to the recognition and award. Recognition of achievements is important. Recognition has aimed at transforming each employee as a performer and achiever. Since it is important to recognize achievements of employee, customer, and supplier. Next is select a few best performers. The selection of the awardees should be given due consideration so that few who had performed a top-notch job are awarded. It is quite important that the awards are given the real achievements, but it should not be a routine affairs. Reward teams rather than individuals. The organization should give emphasis on recognizing the teams as against the individuals so that there is a good harmony in the organization. There is no harm in awarding individuals for his meritorious or service, but it may cause hurdles in practicing team's work in some cases. Next is the type of award. The organization should select the award appropriately and should not keep on changing the type of award. It could be appreciation in an annual meetings, certificate, mementos, and cash awards. And the last one is enable happiness all around. The recognition and award program should help the organization to enable happiness amongst all the employees. It should not lead to bitterness amongst employees and should not demotivate them.
Good day everyone, I'm Noel Capin, and this topic is all about feedback and performance appraisal. First, feedback is essential both for employees and management. It is more humane to the curious to know about the result of an action. Actions are taken not only by management but also by junior employees in organizations. Therefore, both the management and the employees should look forward to getting a feedback on the action taken. The employees from the management and vice versa is the interest of improving quality continually. Such feedback should be analyzed by the concerned individuals, which would be a good input for the next decision to be taken. Next is management should seek feedback. It is the responsibility of the management to seek feedback. The management should be therefore adopt suitable strategies to get the right feedback from employees as well as customers. The management should adopt the management by walking around a concept advocated by Tom Peters to get the right feedback. Next is feedback to the employees. Every employee in the organization should receive a feedback on the quality of the output. Quality does not only means to conformance of the product or service to the requirements, but also the timeliness, behavioral requirements, and all the attributes of TQM. It is important that every employee in the organization is given feedback. If it is not done, the employee will not realize the true quality of the output. Next is giving appropriate feedback. When a feedback is given, it should be the most appropriate. The feedback should never be exaggerated or underplayed. It should be a correct feedback. Next is timely feedback. Feedback should be accumulated forever. The feedback is, as when required, should be given at the appropriate time. The feedback session could be short and brief so that it will be taken seriously. Next is watch effect of feedback. Each feedback session is a corrective action of the system, to use the terminology of iOS in 90s. Therefore, the effect of feedback has to monitored, studied, and analyzed. If the feedback is given in an appropriate manner and if it is right, then definitely the employee will be motivated to correct himself. Next is continuous feedback. Like continuous improvement, feedback should be also be given continuously. Some employees who are doing extremely well also need feedback. The feedback will be never ending of any of the supervisory persons, since the system will try to drift away from the goals. Often the management will be required is correct the system through the feedback mechanism. And lastly, performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is to be used for the development of employees. Deming does an advocate periodic performance appraisal. However, Philip Crosby speaks that by the large they serve the purpose. One is to adapt the PSDA technique even for the performance appraisal of employee. These are the various purposes: promotion, granting of additional increments, training the employees, relocation of duties, and etc. The most important requirement for carrying out performance appraisal is giving awards and continuing it successfully.
Hello everyone, my name is Maria Concepcion and I'm going to continue our last report about the employee involvement. And for my topic report, it is all about the empowerment. Empowerment is a system where employees are encouraged to use their expertise and knowledge to suggest methods for improvements in their work areas. And there are three types of empowerment of employees. Number one is empowerment is not without bond. This means that empowered employees are given ownership of the process that they are responsible for and the products or services that generated by those corporate business organization. The second is empowered team, not individual. This also means that a team of employees will be empowered not just for individual but for the whole team. And the third is training needed before empowerment. Before empowerment, the management has the right to conduct a training for all his employees, and this means that each employee should be encouraged to direct his or her effort to achieving the goal of their business organization. On the other hand, empowerment does not mean that the management has no responsibility. In fact, the management has more responsibility than the employees. So here are some fundamentals requirements of management for successful empowerment. There are 9 fundamentals requirements in order to achieve the successful empowerment. All of these are continuously assess the skills and help the skills of each employee for carrying out the ever-changing of his or her everyday complexity of each job employee. And next, responsibility of the team members and empowerment and plot organization also is a part for fundamentals in order to achieve the successful empowerment. So, for more instance, in business there are also a barriers to success and in empowerment. So there are 3 barriers to success in empowerment. Number 1 is difficulty of supervisor and the team members in new roles. Empowerment calls for the totally different approach. This means that to the supervisor has to change his approach to get his work done. So he has to treat his employee as a more than colleague rather than its subordinates. So this is the first barrier to success in empowerment. The second is the supervisor resistant. Supervise resistant may be the reaction of the lost or can evolve into the power struggle between supervisor and the employee. And the third is misalignment. Misalignment is one of the problem in this empowerment of success because will not help in achieving teamwork. However, if the management may feel a failure to his organization, it will affect the productivity and the quality of his organization. That is all the barriers to the empowerment. So according to Federal Express USA, they use employee involvement as a to recognize their customer satisfaction as to begin with the employee. That is why people there in USA, according to their study also, are creating a critical element in their total quality management for this business strategy. And number one is the employee involvement is encouraged. Number two, employee involvement of leadership. Number three, employee involvement, which is Global Quality Month. And number four, reward and recognition. Number five, measurement of employee satisfaction. So these five are the employee involvement that they use strategy in Federal Express of USA, which it can help to their business upload and increase. And that is all my report about the empowerment, which is involvement of employee.